Enhance your experience by becoming a supporting member. Gain access to unseen videos and video requests. 3-day free trial by visiting zionmembership.com. Ones. Empaths. Did you know narcissists often use psychological tactics, real mental warfare, to control and manipulate those around them? Let's explore how these games work. In this video, we'll discuss how the narcissist plays mind games to push your buttons and the best way to respond effectively. Right? Classic games that these narcissists play, you see, they don't even have to lift a finger, so to speak. They could just go silent and give you silent treatment, for instance, right? They could give you silent treatment. And if you're not switched on to this behavior, they will provoke you and push your buttons, right? If you're not switched on to this behavior and seeing how this is a classic trait of the narcissist. They'll do this silent treatment to you to basically mess with your mind, to confuse your mind, to make you try and feel pain, to make you try and feel upset, to try and make you start to look within, There's a range of things these narcissists will do. They could do guilt tripping, making you feel bad about something. Guilt tripping you, making you feel bad about something you did when it's actually fictitious. It's not true. They're just tricking your mind. This is real psychological warfare that occurs on the victim of narcissistic abuse from the narcissist involved in their life. And this can even play out, this can play out when you first meet them, throughout the relationship, and even afterwards, right? They can do these sorts of mind games to push your buttons. The baiting you from the get-go. They bait you. They know you're an empath and a chosen one. You're full of light. You've got wonderful characteristics, a wonderful aura, but they'll bait you. People call it love bomb, but they'll bait you. They'll pick out these positive characteristics and traits about you and present them to you. These are true things about yourself, but they'll do it and disguise it with a hidden hand and a hidden motive to cause destruction or to get your guard down. It's just another manipulation. It's a classic manipulation tactic, right? To push your buttons. Another thing they'll do is moving the goalpost. So you could be in an argument or you could be in a disagreement, and they'll keep moving the goalpost so you never get to the finish line. They'll keep manipulating it, moving the goalpost and drawing you out, basically. It's a form of drawing you out, further into, and they'll do all of these types of things, like I mentioned: silent treatment, guilt tripping you, baiting you, manipulation, moving the goalposts. They can do all of these simultaneously at one time, right? Another classic one, playing the victim, right? Playing the victim role, and then they'll make out that you're the abuser, reactive abuse, playing the victim. They're fucking God. They're seriously something else. Like what these people do, and they think about this shit. They think about this stuff. They're weirdos. Denial. They'll deny things. If you bring things to their attention about things they're doing wrong or something, it's just pointless. There's no point even bringing this to their attention. I'll get into that in a bit later on, but there's about ways that you can deal with this sort of behavior. But they'll go into denial. Emotional blackmail. They know you have a strong value system, so they can blackmail you emotionally. They do this. They do this a lot. Emotional blackmail. You know, another thing is lying or part truths. You know, they lie an awful lot, but sometimes there's part truths involved. Another classic one is triangulation, which many of you fall victim to when you see them go off with the new supply, you know, and you're actually being triangulated, or even while you're in the relationship and they're triangulating you. Another classic one is withholding affection, you know, withholding affection, withholding intimacy, and it doesn't just have to be, you know, sex or whatever. It could be just withholding affection towards you. You know, it's just another classic trait. It's all psychological warfare, right? Psychological tactics to cause destruction. You know, blaming you for things. You know, blaming. They'll just blame you. You know, there's so many things to explore about what these psychological tactics that these narcissists do, but blaming you is another classic one. Coercion, you know, coercion, being threatened to do something using your own fears, you know, using your own fears against you, coercing you into a situation. Guilt, you know, playing on the fact that they know you've got a strong value system, morals, a good moral compass, you're a good person, and they'll play on your guilt. You know, they'll know you feel guilt. You know, the classic one, gaslighting you, you know, or, you know, just trying to make you lose your mind. Another one they go for is isolation. You know, they'll isolate you from people around you, or they'll isolate you from them. You know, they'll do all sorts of various forms of isolation, but these are just a few classic psychological tactics that they use, and you may have well gone through. But you see, this can cause severe mental health effects to the victim or the unawakened empath or chosen one. You know, this can cause severe detrimental effects to the chosen one and the empath. You know, it can cause a real problem and a challenge in their life going through these types of abuse, right? But you need to understand, even those that have awakened and they're dealing with the aftermath of going through silent treatment, being through guilt tripping, gone through baiting, gone through manipulation, gone through them moving the goalposts, gone through them playing the victim, gone through denial, gone through emotional blackmail, gone through triangulation, you know, gone through them lying and part truths, gone through them withholding affection, gone through them blaming them, gone through coercion, you know, gone through guilt, gone through gaslighting, and then they end up isolated, right? Maybe from friends and family, and they're isolated now, and they're awakening, which was a scary experience going through the awakening. You know, it can cause real detrimental effects and real trouble in the life of the chosen one and the empath, you know. But what I want to address, right, is it's all about recognizing these signs, right? The moment that you know, if you didn't have to have all of them things, right? I just mentioned a few things, you know, and if you've got a few of those things that they done to you, you know you're dealing with a narcissist. You know, you only have to have a few of them. You could have gone through the silent treatment. You could have gone through them moving the goalposts. You could have gone through them playing the victim. You know, if they'd done those three things, it's highly likely you're dealing with a narcissist, right? They didn't have to do every single one of those things, right? But that's the key to reclaim your power, is recognizing the signs, right? And now you recognize the signs of what they are, right? It's all about trying to reach the point of indifference, right? And I'm telling you, if you reach this point of indifference or aim towards the point of indifference, you don't reach out to them, you leave them to it, you cut away from them to the best of your ability. You could have even been discarded and they're giving you silent treatment, right? Let them get on with it. You could have been you could have been the one that cut the narcissist off and they're stalking you and bothering you. Let them, do the best thing you can, alert authorities if you feel in danger or whatnot, But it's all about reclaiming your power back, right? Reaching the point of indifference, becoming stoic, becoming emotionless, becoming emotionless towards this narcissist that was involved in your life, right? And understanding that you have gone through this abuse, right? You didn't have to go through all of the things that I listed, but you could have gone through a few of those things, right? And knowing that this is psychological tactics set out by them to cause you discomfort, to cause you pain, to cause you hurt, to cause you upset. So if you know you're dealing with a narcissist now, you don't need to be missing them or be missing the future faking or what could have been, or when they was baiting you at the beginning, telling you things that were apparent in who you are as an individual, real true things about who you are, but they were trying to draw you out and baiting you, right? They knew you did have these qualities or a beautiful aura. They did have these things to bounce off of you of, right? They did have these things, and maybe other people haven't made you aware that you have a beautiful aura and you are a special soul, and it was this narcissist that was involved in your life that brought this stuff to your attention. So it was in the form of a love bomb, but it's baiting, right? That's what it is. They're trying to draw you out, So now you can see the signs of what they are. You don't need to be upset. There's no reason that you need to be upset. You honestly don't need to be upset at all. You need to be unfazed. You need to be unfazed. Because there's plenty of narcissists out there. And it's not hard to walk into a narcissist. And they all come across as if they're reciprocal, they're transparent, they're empathetic. They try and display themselves in that way towards you. Initially, at least, right? They try to make out they're that person. They're not that person. They start playing mind games very quickly to push your buttons, trying to trigger you, trying to bait a reaction from you, trying to draw you out, trying to mess with your mind, trying to gaslight you, trying to mess with your spirit and your soul, And once you catch on to the signs of them doing this stuff, leave them to it. Leave them to it. Not leave them to it doing it to you, but I'm saying leave them to their mess. If you establish distance from them, that's why a lot of you, may have gone through a reverse discard or a discard, or even cut them off because they become too toxic, or you're planning on making your escape from them. And you're still conditioned by this baiting that occurred at the beginning of the so-called love bomb that people call it, right? You don't need to be sad about that. It wasn't all lies. They were telling you things that was there. They can't love bomb people to the same magnitude. They can't bait people that don't have nothing substantial for them to go off, They can't do that, They're not going to do that because there's no reason for them to do that. They're not just going to go up to someone that has no value and is worthless and start trying to bait them and draw them out. They're not going to do that. They're going to do it to someone like yourself that has value, that has morals, that has love, that is generous, that is caring, that is pure, that is honest, that is transparent, that has a potent supply source. They're going to do it to someone like you, right? So you need to understand that all it was is you just got further down the line with this person and they began to start pushing your buttons, and it's all about how you react now, to this situation. And that's why you always hear me talk about indifference, right? Not being phased, not caring what they're doing, not caring who they're with, being unfazed, being emotionless, being stoic, right? This is the place you need to get to. You like tomorrow or today even, you could go out and find another narcissist if you want that. I know you don't want that, but it's not hard. You can go on any dating app and meet another narcissist. You can meet narcissists wherever. But if you want something meaningful and you want something special, you need to work a bit harder at that. That's all it is. It's quite simple, So if it means spending a little time by yourself, or it means, staying away from dating for a little while, or carefully selecting your appropriate partner, then that's what needs to be done, right? But this person that was involved in your life, for however long they was involved in your life, they're basically playing these mind games with you to drive you to insanity. They have no remorse, no empathy, they don't care. They're doing these things because it's in their nature. Sometimes they don't even think it through properly of why they're actually doing these things to you. It's just in their nature, like they'll intrinsically play the victim role. They'll play the victim role. Just it's in their nature to play the victim, or withhold affection, or guilt trip you, or gaslight you, or move a goalpost, or give you silent treatment. They're not actually thoroughly thinking this shit through. All they've got in their mind is they want to psychologically disturb you and play mind games with you and mess with your mind, And if you don't play those games, there's not much they can do, For example, let me go back through these examples that I gave, right? By you recognizing the signs that I mentioned and reclaiming your power, how you could respond effectively to silent treatment is say, so the fuck what? You've gone silent. Big deal. Who cares? Be indifferent. You've gone silent, narcissist. Big deal. They won't stop. They'll still do other things after that. They'll start making... They'll break the silence. If you go silent, they'll break the silence first. 100%, not even 99%. They'll break the silence first. They'll do something on social media, or you'll bump into them in the street, or they'll do something, right, to make themselves known. They'll do something, right? They'll post a picture of a new supply. That's them breaking their silent treatment. They'll play it off as they're posting a new picture with them with a new supply, and they're doing it on their social media. But they have a rough idea that you'll be looking, and it's them breaking the silence to speak to you, right? They speak in hidden signs and stuff like that. They'll reveal themselves in some way, shape, or form. They won't stick to silent treatment. I'm telling you, if you You don't even have to give it that long. I'm not telling you, you're not gonna get no, you know, sit down with a cup of tea or a coffee and talk things through like adults. You're not gonna get that with a narcissist. Right? You need to know that from the jump. You know. So with silent treatment, just know they're gonna, reveal themselves, especially if you can stick to your game and just say, so what, narcissist? You gone silent, big deal, right? And you get on with your life and you start focusing on your purpose and things that are important to you, and you start getting on with that. That's how you deal with silent treatment, right? With a narcissist that has evolved in your life is guilt tripping you, trying to make you feel guilty about something, right? You can fall into that momentarily, right? But it's likely that nothing you say to the thing they're making you feel guilty about will be justified. So if you fall into the entrapment of trying to rationalize with them, they're not exactly going to go, oh, okay, so and so, like, that's okay, I understand. Like, they're going to keep going with it. And then when you see them keep going with it, that stands out as a prominent sign to you that it's a guilt trip. They're not looking for, how's the best way I can describe this? They're not looking to resolve the issue. They're looking to guilt trip you. So if anyone's guilt tripping you, they're not looking to resolve the issue. They're using the psychological tactic of guilt because they know you're an empath and they know you're a good person, and they're trying to guilt trip you off it. So if anyone's doing that, likewise with the silent treatment, so what? Big deal. You tried to manipulate and play on, they tried to manipulate and play on your good nature and start guilt tripping you. Right? If you're thinking back to the baiting that happened in the beginning of the relationship, right? The love bomb, etc. It happened. The way you deal with that now is you look for real love. You combat that and try and find real love, real authentic, genuine and pure love, right? And you'll know the signs better of someone trying to bait you and draw you out, right? And you'll be a lot more unwavering, like stuff won't phase you, especially as you proceed through your healing. If you meet another narcissist that tries to love bomb you, and then even if they pull the wool over your eyes momentarily, you'll catch wind to what's going on. It won't phase you, it won't phase you, because that's why, it's better to call it baiting, because they're actually they actually pick out things that are actually apparent with you as an individual, So a lot of people think that the love bomb is all lies, and the love bomb is all fake, and the love bomb is all, not true, and they made it all up, and they planned it all. No, they're picking out things that really do exist within you. It's very easy for them to love bomb you or bait you. It's very easy for them to do that because it exists within you. And so that's a reinforcement that, they can't just do this with anyone, and they picked you for a specific reason. So that helps you combat that, right? All of this is manipulation anyway, but dealing with manipulation, if you spot the sign of manipulation, it's not a trusted person. It's not someone that can be trusted. It's not someone that you need to be emotionally involved with. And none of these things I mentioned you need to be emotionally involved with either. You don't need to be emotionally invested in these individuals, right? That's what I'm trying to help you detach from. If they're moving the goalpost, similar to the guilt tripping, how they're not looking for a resolution. That's the same way, the apparent sign that you can see with the goalpost moving, right? They're not looking for a resolution of the problem. They're just moving the goalposts and escalating and escalating and escalating, right? And this can happen. This can happen in person. This can happen on the phone. This can happen through messages. This can happen through social media. You'll notice them moving the goalpost, and they're just pathetic. They're just pathetic individuals, right? And all they're trying to do is that's them trying to draw you out, Similar to the baiting, like I mentioned with the love bomb, where they bait you to draw you out. it's moving the goalpost to draw you out. You know, they're trying to bait you. It's still a form of baiting, moving the goalpost. But playing the victim, you know, you don't want to be around some victim person, because it's highly likely that these individuals that come give you a sob story about this person done this to them and this person done that to them and this happened to them and this happened to them. You know, what they're using now is they're playing on your empathy, right? A lot of the chosen ones and empaths in the narcissistic community, not narcissistic community, what the hell is wrong with me? In the empath and chosen one community, right, that have been victims of narcissistic abuse, right? Many of them encountered a narcissist that had a story to tell, right? That's the best way I can put it. You know, they had a story to tell. They had troubles. They had drama. They had pain. They had a previous partner or family member, you know, that caused them upset. And the empath and the chosen one, like, is a savior empath. You have the savior empath streak in you. All of you empaths have it, and chosen ones, whether you're awakened to it or not. You have this ability to ease people, and you have this ability to make people feel better, right? And the fact of the matter is, they're just playing the victim. You know, it's highly likely they were an abuser in the situation anyway. You know, so once you catch wind to a sign of someone is a victim, like is playing the victim, like, get the hell away from them people, because they're dangerous. You know, they're very, very dangerous. Them people that play the victim, they're fucking weirdos. But sorry for swearing. I know some of you don't like it, but they're honestly weirdos. They play the victim. They'll talk for hours about how they're a victim, and there's absolutely no substance behind what they're talking about. Like, seriously, they'll pour their hearts out. Their black, decrepit, weird, deranged hearts out. They'll pour them out, and there's actually no substance to what they're talking about. And they're merely doing it as a motive to play on your empathy. Why would they be doing this? They could be doing this to get an emotional hold over you, to get you to feel sorry for them, to somehow navigate themselves into your life and infiltrate your life. Because the empath is on that path. The empath, the chosen one, is, especially after awakening, the empath and the chosen one is on their journey. They're on their mission, you know. So it takes some narcissists to start playing the victim, you know. Before you know they're a narcissist, someone playing the victim, you start feeling bad. Your empathy starts going. You start thinking, God damn, like, you want to help them, you want to fix them, you want to help them, you want to repair them. You know, or you just want to ease them. You just want to make them feel better. You know, anyone who wants you clock the sign of someone playing the victim, stay the hell away, right? Now, denial. If anyone goes into denial, right, or they blatantly just deny the truth, they're just denying what you saw, right? This is bordering on gaslighting, because it can actually pull you into actually believe in their denial. But just clock the signs of it. You know, if you see someone acting in that denying nature, being in denial about stuff they've done which you know is true, don't let them gaslight you into believing that it's real, right? Emotional blackmail, you know, them playing on your empathy again, similar to playing the victim, but kind of giving you a consequence unless you navigate down a certain path, you know. Any of these signs, stay the hell away from these people. You only need to have one or two, you know. Even if you're having one or two, you know, they're a toxic individual or a narcissist, you know, you don't need to start taking them down to the local psychologist to get them to have 5 signs to be diagnosed with a personality disorder, because it's not even really a personality disorder anyway, you know. But you don't really need to get them to be going down and getting the whole the whole, I don't know, the whole diagnosis and all of that. Like, if you see any of these signs, they're a toxic individual, you know, and they're a narcissist, and you don't really need to be around them, you know. So lying, you notice anyone about lying to you, right, or part truths, really that's an incredible deal breaker, especially in any form of relationship. If someone is lying or part truths, you know, the trust is broken. When there's no trust, there is no relationship, you know. And you know, it tells another story, you know. If they lie about anything, like I've mentioned lying here, but they were also lying when they were playing the victim. You know, they're also lying when they were playing the victim. They weren't really the victim. They were the abuser. They were the oppressor, you know. So if you notice them playing the victim, then you notice them lying. And sometimes they let out part truths, you know. But that's a real deal breaker. All of them are deal breakers, but lying is a very, you know, you need to have trust in relationships. And when there's no trust, there's nothing left, you know. If anyone is triangulating you with anyone else, or trying to make you feel inferior to someone else, and trying to make you feel jealous of someone else, or them with a relationship with someone, like, you know what I'm saying, you don't need to endeavor in that path. So all of this is to deal with all of these that I'm mentioning. You need to become emotionless, stoic, and indifferent. You know, you shouldn't ever compare yourself to anyone else. That's another way you deal with it. You don't compare yourself to no one else, right? You don't start comparing your looks or your mindset or anything about yourself, right? Your finances, you're nothing, right? You don't let nothing. You are a unique individual, and that's what you need to know. You're a unique individual. There will never be another you for as long as this earth will be on and continue going. And then there never has been another you in the past, right? You're a special, unique creation of God, of the universe, right? You have a fingerprint, a unique fingerprint, unique voice pattern, unique eye print. You know, there will never be another you. You don't need to compare yourself to no one and be triangulated in no situation. The withholding affection, you know, this is another classic trait of narcissists, right? They withhold affection, you know. Like, it's unbelievable, you know. Um, it's it's it it's just a means of control. All of these are to push your buttons, you know. They withhold an affection to make you feel less than, you know, make you feel unwanted or unloved. You know, it's unbelievable, you know. I didn't really know about this, but this really does exist, you know. Narcissists will definitely withhold affection. You know, it's a classic trait of a narcissist. I've heard about it from a gentleman I was doing sessions with. His wife was withholding affection from him. It really broke him down a lot. Then they were going through a divorce proceeding, but I did speak to him for quite a long time. He used to book regular sessions, and it wasn't down to me. I think it's down to God or the universe or angels or whatnot. But radical transformation happened, and it ended up with, you know, the the narcissistic wife not wanting the divorce and trying to beg him back. You know, it wasn't just the withholding affection; she was also withholding him overnight stays with his daughter, right? So even though he was doing like 80% of the childcare, school runs, looking after during the day, and she was denying him having that close bonding relationship at night, maybe watching a movie with some popcorn or something like that in the evenings, and his daughter was very young, you know. So but it did take a radical transformation, and he's in a better place now, and he's actually gone on to help other individuals in his life, so he's giving back to the community as well, and we do stay in touch from time to time. But he's a real success story. It is possible, but he was someone that first brought that to my attention about the withholding of affection. So anyone that's withholding affection, just leave them be, right? And get on with your own thing, Get on with your own thing, Just be indifferent, emotionless, stoic. Spot the signs. You only have to spot a few of these that I mentioned. I know not all of them are going to be apparent to your situation. Maybe some of you have actually gone through all of them though, but the blaming. They love to blame. You've done this. You've done that. You've done this. Puts you in a defensive nature. The empath and the chosen one's like, no, I meant it in this way. No, I meant it in that way. No, I meant it like this. I meant it like... They know what they're doing. They're pushing your buttons to try and invoke an emotional reaction from you, right? By putting blame on you for something they know you haven't done, right? Something they know you haven't done, Coercion, being threatened to do something with your own fears, using your own fears, They know you're scared of something, that they're threatening you to do something, knowing that you're fearful of something. So it's gonna coerce you to go in that way. Anyone that's doing this type of behavior is really sick and twisted, and none of you should be tolerating this. You need to escape from these people as soon as possible. Make a guilt that's similar to blaming, because it makes you feel guilty. It can make you feel guilty, but they'll try and make you feel guilty for things. So you try and, with the Savior Empath Streak, you try and start fixing the situation. I'm rushing in there to fix the situation, And you all know about gaslighting. They want to make you lose your mind. They want to make you lose your mind. And the term gaslighting comes from that film where the man was kindling, if that's the right word. He was tweaking the lights, the gas lanterns, and dimming the gas lanterns. And the wife was saying, oh, it's getting darker. He's going, no, it's the same. And that's where the term gaslighting comes from. Most of you probably know that, but that's what happens. They'll make you believe a false narrative, a false reality. Make you think you're seeing things you're not seeing, right? So you need to be very vigilant with that one, to pick up on the signs of that. And isolation, you may be going through isolation now, or you may have been isolated, like I've been doing some sessions with someone, and the narcissist involved in his life made him move out away from the town where his friends and everyone was, and it was a dream home. That's the reason why he went. Like he did willingly go, but it was an isolation tactic. It was to get him away from his friends and close ones that he can depend on, And then now when the narcissistic relationship has fallen apart, he's now in a house with commitments to that house, bills, etc., mortgage, I'm not sure, right? But being away from his family and friends, you see. So this is how isolation can take form. If you're noticing any of these signs, right, it's all about reclaiming your power and recognizing these signs, right? Becoming indifferent, becoming stoic, becoming emotionless, and responding effectively to the best of your ability, unemotional, if that's the right word, not emotional, emotionless, responding emotionless, not engaging, being very distant from them, and trying to keep as much space from you and them as possible. You know, sometimes they do it for you, which makes life a hell of a lot easier. You know, for example, if a narcissist involved in your life is putting you through silent treatment or trying to isolate you or something like that, and then the relationships falling apart, you know, let them get on with whatever they're doing, you know. Or if a narcissist is triangulating you or they're going off with a new supplier, like, you know, be grateful, be like, all right, thanks. Like, it makes your life a bit easier. But they will be watching you from a distance. They will be cyber stalking you or physically stalking you in person. This is the type of nature of the beast that they are. But just understand, if you've seen any of these signs, you know, if you've seen any of these signs, it doesn't have to be all of them. Like I said, if you've seen a few of them, it's a big red flag. You know, it's a huge red flag. And sorry, my chest. It's a remarkable blessing that you've been able to see these signs, because there's so many victims of narcissistic abuse that stay asleep to this happening to them. All right, they never wake up, and you've woken up. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video now, or you wouldn't be on other channels alike, you know. So I hope this video helps shed some light on it. I know I've gone on for some time, so thank you if you are still here. I really appreciate it. Please press the like and the subscribe button, just like this video is showing up for you. Help it show up for someone else in the community, you know. Just like it's helped you, it may help someone else too. If you would like to donate or support to the channel, you don't have to, but if you would like to donate or support to the channel, you can find the link in the description box. And there's a few things I want to bring to your attention before I draw the video to a close. I've launched a new free community forum on the membership website. It's open for everyone to use to build, expand and connect with fellow survivors. I'm looking at the longevity of the forum, as I should have created one when I first launched the membership site. I'm also running one-to-one sessions. If you want tailor-made advice and me to shed some light on your issues, you can always reach out to me. The Empath group meeting is coming up on the 28th, and there is a new WhatsApp and Telegram group for survivors to stay in touch. Lastly, if you want crisis email support and a plan of action, the links for all I've mentioned are in the description box below. And the video that I want you to check out, it will be very helpful for you. The narcissist regrets losing what they took for granted, and the link for that should come up now. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.